video by Shower Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing another of my Hero Factory Beast Transformers mocks. And today we're going to be reviewing ByteStryke, this guy right here, this nice looking beast right here. So right off the bat you can see he does have this kind of angle about him, you know, his tail goes down, and his body just naturally goes down like that. And that's one thing I do really like about him. It just looks so cool on him, you know, so sleek and like, I don't know, just awesome. So you can also see that he does have two heads. They're different colors because I don't have any other colors of these heads at all. These are from the Splitter Beast. And that's all I have. You know, they can open, as you know, spikes on top. And they're on these two separate necks. He's double-headed, so yeah, I think that's cool about him, you know. And so for the rest of him, he has these trans-orange claws here, which are cool. Some trans-orange here, a little bit on the tail, some. He has these normal kind of clawed feet back here with the non-articulate claws on them. His head does store right here because there's not really any other place to put it with his transformation. So, you know, you have his eye here, but it's not that bad, really. I mean, from the front, it's just this like little thing sticking up. If you have something to fix that, and you know, I mean, it just attaches through the peg connector with the lightsaber blade and the cone, both in trans green. If you can fix that, then I probably would, just to make it like less subtle. I mean, cutting this would do that, but I'm not that serious of a mocker, so I'm not going to cut my pieces. So, yeah, you know, he's a pretty nice guy. He has some good color flow with trans orange, silver, and gunmetal, and some black. So, yeah. His tail back here is all ball jointed completely, so you can do some like crazy stuff with it. You can do twists and stuff. It's just, you know, super articulate. It has a spike at the end so you could stab people with it. And yeah, you know, I think he's a really good one. I call him ByteStryke because he's really fast in beast mode and in robot mode, and he has these two heads, so he'll, you know, bite you and he'll strike you, and yeah, makes sense, totally. Never heard anything on this guy that didn't make sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for beast mode. You know, articulation. The back legs can go out, they can go back, they can go forward, bend at the knee, a little more than 9 degrees. Then you got your foot articulation. It's pretty much the same with the front. You know, I showed you the tails all on ball joints. You can do anything, pretty much. Each head is on a separate neck, which can look a little maybe odd, because, you know, your shoulders are back here, then you have all this, and then the necks. I see this as maybe being like, I don't know, maybe just an extended part of the body that kind of tapers off, I guess. But no matter the case, there's not really that much you can do about that unless you somehow put on a smaller or just shorter body. It is a bit exposed under there, and I could have put armor, but I didn't, just so, you know, things don't get in the way in his robot mode. You know, have your head up, down, you know, pretty articulate. They're all on ball joints, so you can do pretty much anything. You can have them look back if you want. And those have two heads, which is useful on the beast. So we can do twice the biting, twice the looking, you know, stuff like that. This is a bionicle part right here, and maybe some of you will complain about that, but seriously. Technically, in this age, we're using Hero Factory parts on bionicle official build, so quit complaining. You know, and yeah, it's a pretty nice beast mode. You know, front legs do pretty much exactly the same thing, except these claws are articulate. They go up and down just because they're on hinges. So yeah, there's his beast mode. That's all I have to say about it. You know, he has a pretty nice color flow, and he looks really cool. You know, he just kind of like sleeps down like that, so his head are lower to the ground. And it just looks really awesome. This here can bend, like here and here. This one that I'm bending right now is for transformation purposes. This one you can just kind of bend as you want. So he does have a kind of voiced, you know, stuff. And so you could do stuff like that. But yeah, it's all for the beast mode that I have. So let's transform him. First, what you want to do, let's see where I was going to start. Let's just kind of straighten out the tail, just so it's out the way. Next, I mean, this transformation is like super simple, and which is sadly expected on a beast. I've yet to build one that's more complex and just not, you know, not like a super big, but, you know, just more complex. So you're basically just going to straighten out the legs, just like that. I know, it's sad. It's so simple. Once more. Yeah, so you're just going to straighten out the legs like that. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to move these kind of out the way, pull these out, and then you're going to bend at this joint here and just place this on the body like so. Just like that, and then you have your tail you can pull up. Just take these heads, swing them around, and put them on his back. Now, we can stand them up, and I'll angle the camera up in a second. So, now we can spin his head around, only on the single joint, and you just straighten out the heads for now. If you wanted to spin one of these around, well, I mean, just because I have the splitter beast, the heads aren't exactly the same. One has like the overbite, one has like the underbite. But if you have, you know, like matching heads, like I said, I would use those. Just put his arms down, and then let's angle back down so you can see this. So what you want to do is you're going to, come on, let's see. Let's do like this. You're going to put in this claw, then you're going to fold these two in. You can just fold them all the way in. I just do this so I'm not like accidentally breaking stuff. You're going to pull out his hand like this and then spin it around like that. Then you're going to take this entire thing, do this, and then place the large foot on there so that you have his hand there. Let's do the same on the other side. Like so, and spin out his hand. And simply transformed, you know. But there you have him. There is ByteStryke in robot mode. Which, as you can see, pretty nice robot mode. He does have a few oddities about him though. One being, as you can see right here, his arms are very long. I mean, that's just kind of insanely long. It gives him kind of simian proportions with his arms and legs, I guess, because his arms are like as long as his legs. It's kind of how I attach the hands here with the necks that the Bionicle Glatorian used into the large beast foot, which gives the arm a whole lot more length. But there's not really much that you can do to get around that. If you use the Hordika necks, you could kind of shorten the arms a little bit, but not by much. If you swapped out some of these bone pieces too, that might help. But you know, here he is, and like I said, consistent color scheme. You know, he looks pretty good. He has a good amount of mass to him. You know, there's the body and the legs. And yeah, so for articulation, head can look down, can look up, can look this way, look that way. Still have your tilt. So the head's not limited. Arms can go up, can go back, they can go forward, bend at the elbow, about 90 degrees, mostly because of how these chests, you know, most arm bends are about 90 degrees, just how the armor on them is shaped. I just have these chest plates here, which is worth mentioning since I don't usually put them on this part of the arm. Hands, you kind of have two joints because you can move this around, and you can move this around on a full ball joint. So hands aren't limited at all. Feet can go back and go forward in a little bit. You can rotate, and you can bend, and then you have all your foot articulation. So he doesn't really have any limitations in terms of robot mode. You know, he's just a semi-normal robot that happens to transform to the beast that Hero Factory is looking for. So let me give you... Actually, before we do that, as you could probably tell from the Let's build, there's no weapon for this guy. Which I usually do weapons with a lot of my guys. The other one who didn't have a weapon is Surge, which transformed into a beast as well. The reason for this guy is because his weapons are kind of built into him. What I like to do is I like to spin these around, fold out the claws, and there are his weapons. And that's a little bit of part of his name for ByteStryke. But there you see, his weapons are basically his beast claws. I don't think these had any special powers. If they did, then they would be like melting stuff. But you know, they're claws. They're sharp. He'll scratch you. He'll destroy you if you get in his way. And yeah, and as you can see, that's pretty cool. So let's fold out the other one so you can get the full effect. And yeah, I just really like these claws. They just look so cool, you know, with the trans orange and just green claws. So anyway, what you could do... yeah, you can pull out these claws and there are his weapons. So like I said again and again, these claws are just so very cool, and this guy is just cool, and like you can see in this pose, that's just such a cool pose. I mean, that is just awesome and just wicked and just So very cool to have him with his claws. I think it's just a cool concept for him. You can see he does have claws on his feet because these are his beast feet in his beast mode. Kind of unfortunate, but you know, you could just kick you and scratch you at the same time. Like, he does have this tail, which is pretty articulate. I mean, you can have use it in Robot Mode. You can just have it, you know, just be back here if you want to. Beast heads up here, you know. Overall, I do very much like him. Has this trans neon green eye, which doesn't really match anything. You have these in red or just trans orange is red. That would work too, but I don't, so I have to use what I have. So let's get into a cool pose. I'll tell you about the backstory. So Surge created this guy as an attempt to, like, you know, help the beast. Like, he thought maybe if he gave him, because I mean they're losing air and they breathe a special type of air, so they can't just like migrate to a different planet. So what he thought was that maybe if you put the beast in like a hero type body and make them transform, they could go out and be okay. But I'm thinking whether I should finish that now or later. But you guys probably want to know, but I might keep that a secret. Anyway, what I'll have this be is that, yeah, I guess I'll tell you. So for this guy, you know, he's Surge, after he left, you know, when he was at Hero Factory attacking it, he got the plans for the Hero Factory blank bodies. So using that and, you know, his scientific knowledge and this DNA from the beast, he was able to combine them and turn them into Transformers. It helped a little bit, but unfortunately they could only be off planet for you know, a certain amount of time, maybe like a month or two or so before they had to get back or they would die of suffocation. Because while the bodies kind of negated that effect, ultimately they still had their organic you know, kind of stuff from being a beast, and so they still needed their special type of air, which, if you didn't know, the beasts have, you know, high healing rate, fast healing rate, they're faster, strong, you know, they're just awesome. So anyway, for the specific story on this guy, he was actually on a mission for Surge to get some more parts when he ran into the Hero Factory, and this guy was flying like a large ship well, I guess not that big, but, you know, a ship at the time with kind of the size of those you know, Hero Factory ships that they drive around that can carry pods and like 6 heroes or so. So he was driving that around, or something the size of that around, and he ran into the Hero Factory. You know, there was some conflict, you know, and ultimately what happened was there was some kind of bomb in the facility that he had escaped from. I'm trying to remember what happened, but it was like something was happening, and the heroes thought that what he did was he got the heroes out of the building because there was a bomb in there. So he set them down, and he was with a partner at the time, so his partner didn't want him to go back in, but he did in order to carry out the bomb. So he transformed to beast mode, he grabbed the bomb, and then he ran very far, very, very far off. And the bomb exploded, killing this guy. And the heroes, they were, you know, kind of amazed that this beast, which they were told was, you know, the bad guy, who was the one that they should be hunting, that wasn't good for people, this guy saved all of them. He got them out of the building, and he ultimately took that bomb to a safe place and let it explode all over him. I mean, there wasn't enough time for him to put it somewhere and get back, so he sacrificed himself for Hero Factory and for the heroes, and they were just blown away at that. And I'll probably continue the story later, but yeah, he died on a mission for Surge. But yeah, that's about all I have to tell you right now. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more mock content. And I will see you later. And I'll see you next time.